to assist with the interpretation of the analysis.
And unfortunately, we're going to have to leave your response there. Thank you very much, Ms. Dama. I'm sure she could.
More sentence.
No, I say Ms. Damoff was asking whether that response could be sent to the committee.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Clement.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Sorry? 5 minutes. Yes, I know it's 5 minutes. Yes.
I know it's 5 minutes.
Yes,
Don't worry,
yes.
Clerk.
Welcome back to the committee, Mr.
Thank you. It's great to be back, Chair, and félicitations, congratulations, Madame Kelly, for your appointment. Just want to go over a bit of familiar ground, but you have acknowledged that under Section 6 of the Corrections and Conditional Release Act that you serve under the direction of the Minister in all matters related to the service. Is that correct? Is it safe to say that ministers historically, and this minister certainly has the power to issue directives to the Commissioner regarding conditions of confinement?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to try to get through some of the...
Well, yes or no would be perfect, actually.
Okay. Well, he has general directions over, but not on case-specific incidences.
That's good to know, because historically, I can think of various ministers, Minister Day, who issued a directive regarding first-degree murders to spend a certain amount of time in maximum security, Minister Taves issuing a directive banning the practice of prison pizza parties, but you would say that that is not specific, it's general. But could a minister, if he so desires, say that the transfer of child killers to a minimum security facility when they are nowhere near parole eligibility date, is that something that a minister could do?
Well, again, it's going to be tested through the courts, so you're asking me to then do the next step of what the courts would view that as. So there are mechanisms in place. I mean, you're well aware, you're part of the parliamentary workings that laws, etc., get formulated from. The present laws don't have those conditions within them.
But it is true, based on some of the other examples I gave, that you could craft a direction issued by a minister that could carve out, let's say, a child killer in the system, and say that those people in the system have to be in a maximum security situation and confinement for a period of time. Is that not correct?
Well, I guess I'm going to sort of repeat again. That would be tested through the courts. We've done similar things, and we've had issues even where challenges of individuals. We base our assessments on individual case management assessments. So laws are one thing. Principles and policies get there's processes in place which get tested all the time.
Absolutely. Do you recall Minister Day issuing a directive requiring first-degree murders to spend a certain amount of time in maximum security?
So I can't. Sorry, I've only been in the organization for 10 years, and that was prior to my arrival, if
Stockwell Day is getting a bit old now. But the point is that you can issue a directive on a specific class of individuals within the system and require them to be in maximum security for a period of time, is the point I'm making.
Well, the issue there is you're now interfering with their liberties, and as soon as you're interfering with their liberties, then it becomes a test of the courts, and there's laws around those things. It's a different thing when you start talking about pizza parties.
The whole idea of prison. I just want to make that point clear.
Yes, but the courts have been very clear that.
Can I go back to another point that you and I believed? I
appreciate the assistance of my honourable colleague in the chair management. However, I don't think Mr. Clement has reached the persistent stage yet.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just go back to something that you affirmed, which was that you believe that the minister could not issue a specific directive on a specific person. Is that right?
Correct.
In 2001, I actually was a member of the Ontario Legislature, a cabinet minister, in fact, in the Harris government, and I recall in that year that there was a prisoner that was being transferred. He was a murderer of a police officer, I believe in Sudbury, being transferred to a facility in British Columbia that earned the nickname Club Fed. And I believe at the time, Premier Harris was up in arms, as was most of Ontario society, that this cop killer was going to a minimum security facility in Vancouver Island. Unanimous decision of the Ontario legislature to condemn that. And I recall the minister, Lawrence Macaulay, who serves in the cabinet now, actually reversed the decision to send that individual, to minimum security and made sure that he was held in a higher security prison. Do you recall that at all? Would that be considered a precedent that is analogous to the current situation, sir?
So, again, it would be previous to my time in the service. However, many decisions that took place in the 80s, 90s, and even in as recent as 2000, the courts continue, as you're well aware, with jurisprudence and other things where limitations come into play, and they make court decisions that restrict.
Evidence that the minister has received that advice.
Thank you, Mr. Clement.
I believe my time is over, but thank you very much for your answers.